Now, crisis management is very important. It influences the progress you make in life. TDJX, I think somebody said you are either in crisis, out of crisis, or you're about to get into crisis. And you have to accept that at some point, crisis will hit you. No one is immune to crisis. When you feel stuck in life, when you feel that you're not making any progress, when you feel you are in a situation of difficulty, this is common and it happens to all of us. So, how you manage crisis in life determines so much. So, some people are in a crisis. You realize that some people get into drugs, others get into irresponsible sexual behaviors, others lose themselves, others even go to an extent of committing suicide. So your mental strength is what determines how you manage the crisis. This is my point. How do you manage job loss? How do you manage when you're busy? How do you manage collapse of your business? How do you manage separation? How do you manage divorce? How do you manage when things don't go your way? When everything in a crisis, you feel like you're not making any progress. When you invest in a business and all that business happens to collapse, and probably it was alone. So these are some of the crises when your marriage is not working. These are crises, and how you manage this crisis will definitely influence the progress that you make in life. Now, this is number one. I want to share some of the things that you need to do when you find that you're in crisis. Number one is be calm. Be calm and know it is normal and it's just a passing phase in life. It will not last forever. Don't think that because your marriage failed, your business failed, you lost a job, you remain in that state forever. Just be calm and remember it is just a passing phase. It will come to an end. That situation that you are in will not remain there forever. It will come and pass. But how you manage it again? Sometimes we have a tendency of seeing things in black and white. When you say it's black and white, because you lost a job, if you think that the situation is too bad, it's not that way. Or because your partner disappointed or betrayed you, you think that is how life will always be. Stop viewing things in black and white and no, it is a phase and a stage that will pass. Number two, when you're in a crisis, don't make any decisions. Don't make any permanent decisions. Making permanent decision means you're going to make an emotional wrong decision, which will definitely, at the end of it all, you tend to regret. In this point, at the point whereby you feel you're in a crisis and all that, not make any permanent decision. Remain calm, stay calm, and try to think of how you can go through that phase. Something that is very important is compose yourself. Compose yourself and accept it happened. Accept you're in that state, because being in denial is one of the major reasons why you're not able to progress, why you're not able to get out of that situation. If a business failed, accept that business failed and move on. If a marriage failed, accept that that relationship failed. Accept that it failed and it didn't work. But when you're in denial, you're trying to think of what other people never did, or that your partner never did. At the end of it all, it will not sort anything. It will not help anything. So it's very important that you accept that you are in that state, but remember, you will not remain there forever. Something else is that you need a support system. Who is your support system? At this point, if it's people who contributed towards that, try to avoid such people. And you need to ask yourself who can help you. And I would advise you this. At this point, when you're in crisis, accept that you need help. Because this pride, when you have that ego, when you're egocentric and you feel like you can do it by yourself, let me tell you, you might remain in that state. Let me tell you, your help is just within your circle. There is a friend of yours who can help you get out of that state. So it's very important that you look for support. You accept, especially men. I want to encourage you this. When you feel that you need help, seek for that help, because it's very important. Seek for somebody to support you. Seek for somebody who can make you, who can hold your heart during that difficult time. It is very, 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 very important. And finally, for you to get out of that state, make an effort and move on. Moving on is very important. Think of what is next. Think of what you can do after that. Because if you remain in that state, try lamenting, trying to think what caused that, analyzing that situation, that will not help. Get out of that situation by taking the next possible step. Just around you, think of what you can do to get yourself out of that state. I've been there before. I remember in the year 2019 when I emotionally quit my job after listening to motivational speakers. I found myself in a situation or in a state where I could not even pay my bills. At the end of it all, Before I even got into business and picking pieces together, it took me some time. It took me a support system. My family was there. I had friends who actually ended up being supportive, and I accepted that. I got into a number of businesses, and I think by mid of 2020, I started rising, and so far I can say I was able to get out of that crisis. But it's very important to know this is just a stage and a phase that will come to an end. You'll never be there, because when you feel like your life has come to an end, you don't have any other any other progress, any other solution to the problem that you have. You remain there, but you have to get out of that state, because it is possible, it is doable. Finally, trust in God, believe in God, and I'm telling you, in whatever state you are in, God will always rescue you from that. So crisis management is very important, but crisis will come to all of us at some point.